Ladies and gentlemen, the Raptors claw their way to victory, 121 to 112. And did you guys see that game? I mean, there was a partly throughout this game, especially in the fourth quarter. I didn't know it was going to happen because Philadelphia just came on a vicious run. But before we get there, man, do I have a lot of bombs to drop in this one. This was a great game to watch, one of the better games I've seen. Not just because the Raptors won, but just overall. Nice game to watch, up and down. A bit of a thriller, even though the Raptors were up big going into that fourth quarter, they still, they did bend. They did bend, but they didn't break. I think that's the best way to put it, and that's the way that Jack Armstrong says it all the time. So, like I mentioned, 121, 112, and there's a whole bunch of guys that I thought played pretty well in this game. And overall, Philadelphia is just a flat out scary team because, as you've heard, they have a guy by the name of Tyrese Maxey, damn it. Okay. We all know who he is, and he is an absolute nightmare. Scores over 32 points a game, by the way. I believe he's second in the league in scoring right now. But the Raptors hold him to just 24 in this one. 24 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 5 of 9 from three-point range. I'm telling you right now, the guy is just an absolute nightmare. Got something in my eye here. But the Raptors really do their thing. So let's go over some numbers a little bit here from the box score. We'll go over some team stats, and I'll just run you through some of the things that I saw in this game and some of the stuff that I put down in my notes that I want to address. So first of all 5 Raptors in this games were in double figures. Okay. So you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I got to drop here. Okay. Got to drop a bomb for the starters. Brandon Ingram, 22 points in this game, 7 of 10 from the field, 2 of 2 from three-point range. He was efficient. 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 5 assists, turned the ball over 4 times. But, he's been turning the ball over pretty high these games, like 4 or 5, but I'm going to give Brandon Ingram a little bit of a pass because he still has to adjust. And what you're starting to notice right now is that the defense from these teams are sending multiple defenders now at Brandon Ingram. He's being double teamed on a regular basis. So now that he knows that it's coming because he's putting in that work, he's got to make sure that he is making the correct pass to get out of that double team. With that double team, obviously there's going to be somebody open. You got to make the ball flow quickly across to the other side and get open three-point shots if you can. RJ Barrett, you know what we got to do for him? Damn it, 22 points in this one, 6 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range, 8 of 9 from the free throw line for RJ Barrett. That's the one you got to circle. That is the one you have to circle because the free throw line has been an issue for RJ Barrett. He's not terrible. He's just not good either. So, around that 70% mark or something like that, you want to see him shoot free throws a little bit better than that. 8 of 9 from the free throw line in this one. 4 assists. RJ is a good passer. RJ is a good passer. Okay, Scotty Barnes, 16 points. 8 of 17 from the field. 5 assists. Let's say 6 turnovers. He had 6 turnovers in this game. Didn't look like it. 1 steal, 1 block. But one thing that I did like about RJ Barrett at the beginning of this game, sorry, not RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes at the beginning of this game, he set the tone with his passing. He was finding Jakob Poeltl next to the basket. And you already know what it's like when Poeltl gets the ball next to the basket. He's very efficient. He is very efficient around the basket, lays it in, doesn't try to do too much, doesn't get fancy. Just one of those guys, brings his lunch bell to work, does his job, and goes home. That's why I love me some Jakob Poeltl. 19 points in this one. 8 of 10 from the field. 3 or 4 from the free throw line, but he gave you 8 rebounds, gave you 4 assists as well. So even Jakob Poeltl is doing his thing, passing the ball. Doesn't really turn it over much. 1 steal in this game as well. I got to drop one for Jakob Poeltl. But Scotty Barnes, man. Scotty Barnes started off this game. He was finding guys at 3, finding Jakob Poeltl down low and setting that tone with passing. I realize something here when it comes to the Raptors. They're becoming a better passing team. I said they're becoming a better passing team. They were 45 for 84 from the field. The 76ers actually had 3 more field goal attempts in this game. They were 41 of 87. But when it comes to the assist numbers, the Raptors had 33 assists on 45 made field goals. And so that tells me something here. When you look at some of these assist numbers, 5 for Ingram, 4 for Barrett, 5 for Barnes, 4 for Pirtle, 6 for Immanuel Quickley. And that is the guy, that is the man of the hour that we want to discuss. Drop one for Immanuel Quickley, damn it. Immanuel Quickley, to me, played his best game of the season tonight. I think Immanuel Quickley played his best game tonight. 18 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3-point range, okay? 5 rebounds, 6 assists, just 1 turnover, gave you 3 steals as well. And that's really the part that I want to talk about in regards to Immanuel Quickley before I move on to the bench here. Immanuel Quickley, because remember, we've discussed this already, right? I've spoken to you about it, and you guys have hit me up in the comments. So we're having that conversation, right? We're talking about Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett when it comes to defense. And I've mentioned those two guys on multiple occasions when it comes to their defense. Tonight, they showed us something a bit more on defense. And that's exactly what we were talking about. We were hoping that they were going to improve there. And they did that. They did that. Okay. Immanuel Quickley was very active with his hands, tipping balls. Okay. Getting into passing lanes. Passes are coming. He's tipping them. They're leading to steals. This is what we want to see from Immanuel Quickley. Why? Because we know that he's capable of doing it. That's the thing. We know that he's capable of doing it. And RJ, on the other hand, he did a very good job tonight denying the basketball on whoever the hell he was on. There was possessions where I saw they were trying to deny it to Quickley, and Barrett's on him. He's denying him, right? Denying him the ball. So now they got to go elsewhere. They get a bad shot attempt. They turn the ball over, whatever. But this is why all of these things matter, folks. This is why all of these things matter. You see, when it comes to professional sports, right? And a lot of you know this because you watch sports, whatever it may be, baseball, basketball, football, whatever the hell the case is. It's about the little things. It's about the little things. Okay? Some of the things that don't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. That's what this is about. And I see the Raptors starting to do some small things. You know, the season is still young. It's still early. So we're still learning about what these guys are capable of and what they're actually going to do when they're on the court. And we're starting to see a little bit more. I'm starting to notice some subtle differences, the way that they're passing the ball. Jack talked about it. Jack talked about it on the broadcast. They're starting to be more team oriented. And the way that they're making passes, drop passes, the extra pass, I see it coming together here, folks. And it looks really damn good. Now, one thing that I didn't like was that the Raptors seem to be pretty weak when it comes to the glass. That part I did not like. The Raptors have to get more aggressive on the glass. And at some point, Bobby Webster might have to address this in some type of trade. Because I'm starting to get nervous when Jakob Poeltl has to exit the game and sub out. We need somebody else who is a physical presence, long, athletic, grit, heart, can block shots, can rebound, can take a charge, will give the hard foul when necessary. We need somebody like that off the bench. That ain't a rookie. Could be a young player vet, but we need somebody off the bench who can come in for Poeltl when he's out the game. He can't play 48 minutes. And so that part has to be figured out because I'm looking at the numbers on the glass here. They out rebounded us by 10 in this gun. 31 to 41 in regards to rebounds.
This is completely BS. This is shame. Shame for the referees, shame for the league to allow this.
We can't have that. We can't have that. That needs to be cleaned up. That is a problem. That is a problem. Remember, Paul George didn't play in this game. Kelly Oubre didn't play in this game. Joel Embiid didn't play in this game. Those are all guys who are 6'7", 6'8", and up. We need to figure out what we're going to do on the glass in regards to rebound. Just more heart, effort, whatever the case may be, it needs to be addressed. And that is something that Bobby Webster is going to have to do. Now, 33-28 after the first quarter. And I have in my notes here that Tyrese Maxey is just an absolute nightmare. No physicality for the Raptors. They're getting pushed around. Got to figure that out. Heart, toughness. That is an issue. Call me the fifth quarter, folks. I'm supposed to be doing this in 12 minutes. I might have to take that down at that point, at some point, because damn it, I ain't going to be done in 12 minutes. And I'm having too much fun here, okay? Bully ball from Watford once again. I like him. He's a nice player. Trendon Watford comes into the game, plays that bully ball, and he was doing it again. Remember what he did to us the last game? I believe he had a triple-double the last time we were in Philadelphia. Didn't play as many minutes in this game, but the Raptors got a bit more physical in that second half, and that was good to see. And I mentioned here already, Quickley, good hands, okay? Tipping passes, getting steals, doing a better job also offensively of setting up the offense. That's one thing that I've realized about Immanuel Quickley. He didn't really force up any bad shots. Basketball IQ was there. Shot selection was there. Didn't force things up. And I really appreciated that about his game. He just did a better job of passing to guys, getting into their shot, going around the curl, going around the screens, hitting them in the right spots with those passes. That was a damn good job from Immanuel Quickley against the 76ers tonight. He should be proud. I'll tell you that much. Now, RJ, as I mentioned, because I have it right here in my notes as well, from a defensive standpoint, looks better. And Brandon Ingram, from a defensive standpoint in this game, wasn't terrible, but he was playing a lot more with his hands than his feet. Picked up his fourth foul with 6:17 remaining in that third quarter. And so he had to go to the bench, right? And now I'll say that to say this. Now, when it comes to the bench, there are two guys that I got to drop a bomb for today as well. Mamu, should I drop one for him? You know what? Make it 3. I'm going to drop one for Mamu as well, Dan. I'm not sure there's a game where Mamu doesn't get one. He's just a hell of a basketball player who knows how to play. But there are two other guys that I want to mention in this game. The first guy that I'll mention is Grady Dick, who played a really nice game. I thought from a defensive standpoint, he looked really good. Just 4 points in this one, 2 of 4 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 block. I didn't even care about the offense for Grady Dick today. It was just about what he did on defense. And to me, Grady Dick has improved with his defensive capability. This is what is going to get him minutes. Okay? I said this is what is going to get him minutes. He paid 15 minutes in this game, and he did a damn good job. Now, there's one other guy that I have to mention. Jakobe Walter. Jakobe Walter came alive tonight. This was his best game of the season. 11 points, 4 or 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from three-point range, 1 rebound, 1 assist, only 1 turnover, but he gave you 3 steals on top of it. Jakobe Walter did that in 15 minutes. He was a +8 on the night. He did a hell of a job tonight. He did a hell of a job tonight, and he was struggling so far this season. He was struggling. He needed this game. And when you see him play a game like this, you understand why he's crucial. You understand why he can be a very important part of the bench. And he's also one of the other guys that can pick up 94 feet, folks. He can pick up full court. So shout out to Jakobe Walter. He came in, played a hell of a game tonight for the Toronto Raptors. And the crazy thing about this is, so they go into the fourth quarter and it's 97-82. The Raptors are up 15 going into the fourth quarter after being down 3 going into halftime. We're talking about an 18-point turnaround. And guess what? With Philadelphia, right? Listen to this. 12 of their 15 games have been within 5 points with 5 minutes remaining. So they've been in a lot of situations where they have entered clutch time, right? In their matchups against their opponents. So they're kind of tested thus far throughout the season with what they can do and how they want to do it in clutch time basketball. Now, the Raptors haven't been in that many situations in regards to clutch time, but boy, did they get some good play from some of their guys when they got there. Scotty Barnes, Immanuel Quickley, RJ. I mean, they really did their thing tonight, folks. And I would encourage you, if you get the chance, go watch the highlights on YouTube. You know, they got a bunch of YouTube pages where you can watch the game in like 12 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever the case may be. I think you will enjoy thoroughly watching this, or watch the playback of wherever you can find it. But just take some time, go watch some of this game. I'm sure you will absolutely enjoy. 21 turnovers for the 76ers, 15 for the Raptors in this game. Not too many fast break points on either side, to be honest with you. 15 for the Raptors, 14 for Philadelphia. Pretty even in regards to points in the paint. 56 for the Raptors, 54 for the Philadelphia 76ers. And overall, the Raptors just come into Philadelphia and punch them in the mouth. Now, this is also why it's important to be healthy, folks. It is important to be healthy because the Raptors are getting all these wins right now, and they're getting them early. I'm a broken record. We've discussed this before. Raptors 10-5 right now, but they're getting the wins early, and they're like I mentioned on the last one. I don't care how you get them. I don't give a damn how you get them, but you got to get them. But you got to get them, folks. At MikeRoach7 on IG, at MikeRoach23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that subscribe button. Okay. And shout out to all the love I'm getting from you guys, man. It is definitely appreciated. It is definitely appreciated. Thank you very much. And what is all this stuff I'm pressing right now? I don't even know. But folks, I will be back again soon. The Raptors will be back in action on Friday, and I don't know who they're playing. I'm going to see if I can find that for you in a second, if this tablet would hurry up. So on Friday night, the Raptors will be going up against the Washington Wizards at 7:30, and the Raptors will be at home. Until the next one, folks, this is the Mike Roach Podcast. I'll be back again soon. Peace. Enjoy your night. Goodbye.